Welcome to A Minute or Two with the Word. I'm your host, Torah Teacher Ariel, where every week or so we take a look at a relevant passage of Scripture together as Jews and Gentiles in Messiah. I want to talk about a well-known passage to those of us in the Messianic movement, Ezra 7:10. Many Messianics refer to this passage as, quote, the Ezra example, end quote. Let me quote it for you and explain how this wonderfully simple principle works. For Ezra had set his heart to study the law of the Lord, and to do it and to teach his statutes and rules in Israel. That's from the ESV. The verse is really self-explanatory, but I'll share my thoughts with you anyway, just in case you are unfamiliar. In the chapter here, we find that Ezra, a priest and a scribe of the Lord, was returning from Babylon to go up to Jerusalem with a letter of blessing and support from Artaxerxes, the king of Persia. The passage in focus is also careful to mention more than once that the hand of the Lord was on Ezra. It is within this context that we read about Ezra's method of covenant faithfulness to the Torah of Moshe. Firstly, Ezra set his heart to study the Torah. Even though he was skilled in the law of God, nevertheless, he set his heart to study the precious words of God. Secondly, and subsequently, Ezra set out to do what the Torah was commanding him to do. He did not merely study it for study's sake. He studied with the intention of personally putting it into practice in his own life. Finally, Ezra set out to teach others this very same Torah. I like to imagine that this final step represents the fruit of his self-study and personal Torah-obedient walk. To be sure, God surely extends this world blessings to all those who are submissive to His gracious Torah. But to give to others out of the abundance of what God is personally sharing with you is, in my experience, where the real blessings lie. Study in order to do, in order to teach others. The Ezra example is quite the practical principle for both Jews and Gentiles in today's body of Messiah. Wouldn't you agree?